And girls, I'm wearing a weird filter today. It's not actually a wig, it's just a filter. Okay, let's go. Here we go. I'm a noob playing poker for the noobs. Gotta bring a growth mindset, positive attitude. I'm here for beginners every single weekday. Let's review the rules of poker by repeating what I say. Clockwise around the table is the direction of the play. The dealer button, two to the left, they've got to pay. Everyone else, they should raise more chips or fold. Once somebody does, you can call to match the bet they told. 3 cards come on the table with 2 left to come in. Gotta match your cards to make the best 5-card hand to win. If no one bets and you check, you don't pay, but you don't earn. Type exclamation point beginner in the chat to learn. 2 more cards, 2 more rounds. If you see a chance, take it. At the end, you show your hand to win or fake it till you make it. I'm a noob playing poker for the noobs. Gotta bring a growth mindset, positive attitude. I'm here for beginners every single weekday. Ask me questions if you want to learn some more now as I play. All right, welcome everybody. Today is the final day of my first full week of every month poker course. Every single month I have a week-long poker course where you can learn from absolutely no poker to feeling comfortable at the tables. And today's lesson is all about other players. Yes. It's kind of like one of those Cosmo quizzes, except for it's like, what gamer type are you? So today, excuse me, today we're going to be talking about the different kinds of players that we have and what is your gamer type, right? That's going to be awesome. So there are several different styles of gamer that we know about. And in poker, we kind of divide those up into 4 kind of quadrants of playing. And you're going to find that this actually applies to a lot of different kinds of games. So first of all, do you consider yourself a risk taker? If you consider yourself a risk taker, then you might just be what we call a gambler here in the poker world, where you're going to take more chances. Sometimes that means that you're going to be playing more types of hands than you should, instead of folding and waiting for the best kinds of hands to come along. Another thing that we look for is how aggressive the poker player is. And in poker, aggression means betting and raising rather than checking and calling. I know that's counterintuitive to beginners, because how is it aggressive to throw money at people? But it is in poker, so we're going to call that aggressive. So today we're going to be looking for how aggressive poker players are, aggressive or passive. We're also going to be looking for how gambling and how many hands these poker players are playing. So that means loose if they play a lot of hands, tight if they only play a few hands. Here's some other things that we're going to be looking for today. Now I'm going to be doing a fish alert every single time we see somebody open limp. What that means in poker is just calling the minimum amount, like paying the minimum amount to get to see a flop, the first 3 community cards that come out. Now, when we see that, it's like the person is screaming, I don't like my hand very much. Please let me see the flop for cheap so I can get lucky. So that's going to be a fish alert. When we see less than a full stack at the cash game tables, that means less than 100 big blinds, which is how my stacks are going to be displayed. If we see less than 100, we're going to say that's a fish alert. Now, what else? Hugely overplaying post-flop. What that means is they're overvaluing hands that aren't very valuable, like maybe second pair. They're going crazy betting that thing. Now, when you have a hand that you think is okay, but it's not very valuable, you should not be shoveling chips into the pot. If we see people doing that, that's a fish alert. What else? Weird sizing. I'm going to be talking about bet sizes, and if we see weird ones, then that's also a fish alert. Then there are 2 other things that are part of, oh, hey, thank you so much, Amaranth1912. Thanks. Good to see you today. Good morning. So there's two other fish alert things we're going to be looking for, and these are a little more obscure. This one's for people who maybe have gotten started playing poker, but they don't know how to use what's called a HUD. A HUD, or a heads-up display, is something that poker players use to analyze their opponent's play, especially if they're playing like more than one table and there's like a lot of stuff going on their screen. Well, then you're going to use potentially a HUD. And a HUD has different numbers on it, and the numbers tell you stuff. And we're going to be looking at two different numbers today on the heads-up display. I don't normally stream with a heads-up display, but I'm going to do it today because today is all about looking at those other players. So there's two numbers we'll look at today. One is called VPIP, which means voluntarily put in pot, and that means how often does somebody voluntarily decide to play in the pot? And the other one, thank you, Tanya. It's really good to see you as well. I hope things are calming down over on your end of the world. Things have been ramping up around here. My poor daughter has had a really rough week, but yesterday was okay. Yesterday was okay. It was basically last Friday until Wednesday was like war zone. Anyway, the second number we're going to be looking at today in the heads up display is PFR, which stands for pre-flop raise. That tells us a little bit about that other thing we were talking about. How aggressive is that poker player? How many hands are they increasing the price of the bet when they jump into that pot so that they can try to take it down? All right, I just talked about a lot of theory, and you probably want to see some good examples of what the heck I'm talking about. So why don't we pop open a cash game table, and we are going to start talking about different player types. So the first little bit here is going to be all about watching and waiting and observing for when people are doing different funky things, you know? Know what I mean, Jelly Bean? I'm looking for my HUD. Let's see if we're going to select the HUD. We've got a basic HUD that might pop up. It doesn't look like it's working today. That's okay, though. Watching your opponents and seeing how they really play is infinitely more valuable than looking at numbers about how they play. You might need to select your favorite seat in Poke-It. Okay, I see. Oh, there it goes. We've got the HUDs popping up. Those are the numbers that we're talking about. So when we look at this, let's see if we can make it expand. Let's see if I can tweak it so that it looks a little better for beginners to be able to interpret. That would be great. Let's try HUD style. So we have the right background color, got the right background opacity, drop shadows. Let's increase the font size so you can see what's going on. And let's decrease the stat spacing so we can fit everything in there. And we don't need to really do much with the row spacing, so we're just going to do this. Okay. You learn to enjoy the present of positivity minutes. Absolutely. You know, you gotta grab that positivity while you can. Just grab it by the lips and yank as hard as you can. Yes, we need that. The positivity. Absolutely. Let's see if we've got layout options. Let's set that as our favorite seat. And it looks like I missed the biggity blind, and I was paying attention to this HUD config. We're gonna wait. We're gonna sit out to the no, we're not gonna sit out. We're gonna wait. All right, let's go. So now we have a little bit of what's going on here. We're also looking for like a big difference between the VPIP and the PFR. Let's see if I can grab my mouse highlighter. Mouse highlighter. And we don't love this hand. No, we don't. We don't love it. We don't love this hand either. I wish this thing had labels so that people could see what's going on. Let's see if we can configure it any further. There we go. We got configure HUD basic, edit HUD style. No, we already edited HUD style. Let's try, we've got the layout. We're gonna say, let's edit HUD style. No, we just did that and it didn't have anything. Configure HUD basic. Can we have a label maybe? I think that I'm gonna remove some of these things. Maybe remove, if I can remove this one. We're gonna remove the stat and we're gonna remove this stat. Because I really wanna make things more easy. Let's see if it, there we go. Okay, now we have some simple statistics on our friendos here. Okie dokie, we're looking at different player styles today. So we're gonna see how these people play their hands. We've got our heads up display configured to show 2 important stats for those of you who are new to poker and have never seen a heads up display before. Those are what these numbers are. So this is the VPIP, how much money people voluntarily put into the pot, and this is the pre-flop raising percentage. So if the VPIP is over like 35 to 40, then that's a really good sign that you've got a fish on your hands. We don't see much of that except over here. How many hands do we have here though? That's what I want to know. Probably not a whole lot. But why don't we tag him for now and say that he's possibly a fish. Now let's look around for anybody who has less than 100 big blinds in their stack and label them as well. That would be a fish. And this guy would be a fish. There you go. So now just using the HUD stats and the amount of the stacks, we've labeled 3 people that we suspect are not strong players. They don't have strong strategy. We're going to call them fish. Fishes. Yes. Okie dokie. That's not a great hand. Let's fold it. So it's kind of nice that we have 3 fish right to my right. We're not sure about these guys yet. We have to watch how they're playing. We have to see how their statistics happen. So we're also looking for a big difference between the 2 HUD stats. So mine are very similar, but if you see a big difference, this is probably just not a big enough sample size. Sample sizes apply, but like this guy, that shows a big difference. So yeah. Okay, here we are in the big blind again, and we're still watching our opponents to see what kind of plays they make. This opponent left. That's fine. We didn't label him yet. Now we have a new one, and he entered with 100 big blinds, so we already can't yet label him a fish. Oh, it's a fish alert. This guy limped. This guy limped. It's a fish alert, a fish alert, a fish alert. A terrible death that I, a terrible death that I, a terrible death, a terrible death, a terrible death that I. It's a fish alert, a fish alert, a fish alert. All right, I'm gonna be betting out with my silly draw here. He called, so I'm probably gonna need to bluff this one. We're bluffing this fish. Ooh, he made a call. He had a king. Okie dokie. We're gonna change his color to a guy who likes to call, because next time we will know that if we have something strong, we can bet, and he is very likely to give us a call. Yes, to give us a call. I'm excited about it. Sometimes you gotta get excited about your next opportunities. Right? Am I right? Okie dokie. Let's keep looking at what they're doing. So now he's doing a lot of checking. His friend here is doing a lot of checking. See how it goes. And now there's 4 to a flush on the board. If you don't have a diamond in your hand, you're not very happy right now. Not happy. I'm almost at my 10 hours streamed. I've just got like 1 more hour left to go to have streamed 10 hours. I'm going to stream until about 11:30 Pacific time, because then I'm going to take a nice hour break, and then I got to take my car in to get winter tires. It's that time of year. It's that time of year, folks. All right, let's watch and see how people are entering the pot. We want to see a strong raise if they're a good player, and a limp if they're bad. Oh, we just got the big blind to walk. That's fine too. Now, remember what position this is called from earlier lessons? This is the cutoff. I might have raised this if he hadn't raised before me, but I'm folding. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate the good luck wishes, monkey. Yeah, y'all. All right, we're looking at different types of player styles today. When you learn the different kinds of opponents that you have in poker, you're going to start seeing these styles in like other contexts outside of poker, right? Because it's based on basic human traits like, are you a risk taker? And do you like to avoid confrontation? You know, these kind of things. So assertiveness, that's another one. Confidence. These are basic human traits that translate directly to how people are playing at the table. So this is a good flop for this guy to bet on. So he does. That's a good sign for his skill level. Boop, we don't have a nice hand here. Let's not. So as we keep playing, you're going to find that the statistics, the numbers for the heads up display are changing. And that's because our sample size is getting bigger. It's just like research. When you're doing scientific research, you need a large sample size to have reliable numbers. So now let's see if somebody's going to raise to show strong strategy or limp. Oh, nope. We all folded to me. Yay. Now I'm in the small blind with a hand I would raise if nobody else raises before me. Let's see what happens though. Okay, so we did have a raise from the cutoff. I will be folding this in the small blind. Why? Because in the small blind, we like to bring out that confidence, that assertiveness, that confrontation, strength, and re-raise or fold from the small blind. We don't want to just call from the small blind. This person chose a nice re-raise. It's pretty big. We're going to go ahead and give them orange because they're starting to show some aggression, but we need to know what they're doing that with. What is the in real life equivalent of a crying call because somebody's bet is so small on the river? I know that. That is when you're like at when you're picking a restaurant and like you just want a cheap restaurant and like you know the food's gonna be bad, you know it when you're going in there, but you buy it and you eat it anyway and you're like, this is bad, this is my life choice right now. Why am I eating off the dollar menu? Oh, right, because I'm lazy and I don't want to cook lunch at home. That's going to be the in real life equivalent of a crying call because the bet is so small in the river. There's probably a lot more. Let's think of more. I'm going to say another one is when my kids are telling like a really dumb lie, like, I have cleaned my room. And then I'm like, do I need to go check? And my son's like, well, I mean, I've almost cleaned my room. I'm almost done. Let me go make sure. And then he goes upstairs and he comes back down and I'm like, have you cleaned your room? And he's like, yep. I'm like, should I go check? And he's like, yeah, it's fine. And then I'm like, fine. And I get up off the couch and go upstairs and I'm like, there's still dirty clothes on the floor, man. Yes, give me that $3.75 doner kebab. That's right. Look, I'm not here to get healthy. I'm here to get cheap food. I do a lot of crying calls with my kids. I'm like, really? Do I Do I really have to check? I don't want to. Same with chores too. Like, what did you do for chores? I swept the floor and I cleaned the counter in the bathroom. Like, okay, do I need to check? I don't want to have to inspect. I used to be a little lazy and I would have my older kid go check for me, but then I realized that's just not her role. That just makes her into the parent, and then that sucks, you know. That's a bad, toxic brother-sister relationship. So now I have to get up and do the crying call. All right, let's take a look at these guys. See what happens. Still haven't labeled this guy yet. I gotta watch him a little longer, I guess. His stats are alright, I suppose, for the small sample size we have here. Oh. Alright. Petrovich. We have such a terrible hand here. They're raising more and more. We'll see if their percentage goes up significantly. So now I'm in the small blind, and we have a raise from what's essentially, it's not actually under the gun because we were missing a seat, right? So it's actually middle position because we count backwards, basically. So we're going to be re-raising here. I should have raised bigger. I was not paying attention. Don't mind that raise size. It's too small. Ideally, we would raise bigger. I'm going to look at this hand later and be like, what was I thinking? It's alright, though. Let's see what happens with Avior. They're giving it a think. Doop-de-doop. So they made the call. Nice flop for me. Fantastic. We'll make a bet. Because we have the aggression stick. We still have the aggression baton. We were waving it around before the flop came out. And we don't want to lay it down in the middle of the table without a really good reason. And our friend is giving it a real long think. Alright. Now we have, unfortunately, a flush completed on the board. So we don't want to really shovel a ton more chips in here. Because that is part of his range of what would call. But I'm very likely to call a bet if he makes one here. Shooby-dooby-doo-dooby-doo-doo-doo. Of course, that's a tiny baby bet, my friend. And now we have a nice full house. So let's go for it in case he had a 9. And yeah, it'll be nice. It'll be nice for us. Yay! Hooray! Hooray, hooray, hooray. I suspect he had a 9 there. He was careful calling there because he was like, eh. And then made the tiny bet. And then booyah. He could have also had a flush there. Definitely. And here we go. We're going to see how these guys are going to play the hand. This guy raised from earliest position that we have at the table under the gun. So he should have a stronger range of hands that he's playing from that position. Yes, Dream River. Dream River. We love it. Woo, we're going to play this pair. I mean, maybe. It's under the gun. Well, I mean, technically, well, now I just dilly-dallied long enough. I was like, I don't know if I want to play these 4s. And now. Could have maybe played the 4s. Would have been a nice spot for the little 4s. But here we go on a paired board on the flop. This one's a really great one for the pre-flop aggressor to continuation bet upon. Here we see a bet, and unless this guy has a 10 or a 3 or some pocket pair, he's gonna want to fold. He makes the call. We'll see. We'll see what he's calling with. Hopefully we get to see it, huh? Aye. A bigger bet coming down the pipeline. Ooh, he raising. He's like, I got that 10, bro. He's got that 10, bro. He's got that 10. That person was doing their crazy business with that call. Crazy business. We're going to raise. And we get a fold. See, that's why we raise, folks, to push out those blinds. Let's go ahead and make another raise. Why is so many people sitting out at this table? There's only like 3 of us. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. All right, so this time we have a raise from the button. We're going to re-raise. This time to like a better size. A better size than last time. Because I'm warmed up now. I'm trying to pay attention. Ooh, this guy is going to 4-bet us. He re-raised again. I'm going to make a call. And we have a kind of check fold flop here. Yeah. Sometimes if this wasn't a 4-bet pot, I would consider doing like a sassy raise here to his continuation bet. But not in a 4-bet pot. No thanks. So then I'm going to run into a lot of high pocket pairs that are not going anywhere. Woo! All right. Let's see if we get anybody who's going to stop sitting out. Otherwise, maybe we'll jump over to another table with more people. They don't have like a clock counting down. I don't know how long people are allowed to sit out on PokerStars. If anyone knows, let me know. I don't usually play the cash games on PokerStars. Yeah. I usually play cash games on 2 other sites and Spin and Goes on PokerStars. But today we're practicing our cash games because 2021 is the year of the cash game for me. I'm gonna raise again because we're getting a lot of folds from this person, which is good. It's good. It's good. And in fact, I'm going to change theirs to something a little more passive-ish. Ish. We're not entirely sure whether they're good or bad yet, but they haven't done anything like super bad. They're just being a little tight. Remember, tight means they play less hands. At this point, they've still got a good VPIP, which means overall they're playing more, and we're just watching to see if that's going to change. Always trust your own observational skills over the numbers in the HUD, because people, their tendencies kind of drift, you know? And especially on a site like this where your HUD might actually collect statistics over multiple sessions. Wow, this is kind of like a weird situation. I'm gonna fold it. Then, you know, sometimes you're playing like a different person because people can change their playing styles over time. I remember thinking about that when I was a new player because I was like, so much stuff. Oh, yay, a follow! Thank you for the follow! Yay! I didn't have my Twitch alert show up, but the Nightbot told me. Let's see if the Twitch alert comes delayed. Maybe Twitch alerts are down. There should be like a big thing celebrating you right here. Thank you so much. Thanks. I appreciate the good luck wishes. I'm typing in chat as well because I do stream with a delay because I stream real money games and stream sniping is a huge drag, even though, you know, it's only 50 NL. It's not like I'm playing the super high rollers, but it's still a bummer. Thank you so much for the follow and for keeping me company. I am doing the Dare to Stream competition right now, which I'm really excited about. So if anybody sees me do something that's like creative or community engagement, go ahead and get a clip for me, make a clip, because I'd love to compete in the clip making competition. Oh, hey, that reminds me, I got to make a clip from yesterday because I saw a royal flush. It wasn't mine, sadly, but it was somebody else's royal flush, and they actually got, which is exciting because for those of you who are new to poker, a royal flush is actually incredibly rare. I've only seen 2 now. And yeah, when you do get a royal flush, sometimes it's hard to get people to, you know, give you chips for it because the board, the community cards look really scary to them. But this person got paid off. The royal flush was 4 on the board and he had the 10 in his hand. All right, these guys are getting real excited. I'm gonna have to change this guy's color again. Back to orange. He's getting into it. He love it. Yeah. All right, this person raising. This person's tiny raise. They made a teeny tiny raise. Interesting. So that was a weird raise size for this cash game. So we're going to label him as well. It's going on your permanent record. We're labeling him for that raise since he was taking advantage of it. All right. We are in middle position. So we're not going to play this king. So let's see if we can label these 2 new fellows at our table based on what they're up to, hey? He's got more than 100 big blinds, so we're not going to fault him for that. He's pretending like he's only played 5,000 real money hands, just like I am. But actually, I've played 100,000 on PokerStars. Yeah. We're just going to pretend. All right, and we have a small blind with some suited connectors. However, with this raise here, remember in the small blind, we like to re-raise or fold because it sucks to play in the small blind. You're first to act for the whole rest of the hand. Shoo-biddy-doo-biddy-doo-doo. So we're going to raise this and see what our opponents do. Yay, we get free blinds. Well, bought and paid for blinds. Aside. I'm actually loving playing the cash games here on PokerStars. I've been playing cash games on 2 other sites, one of which I really love, one of which I'm not real jazzed about, but the players on it are awful. So, you know, you can make more chips that way. Yeah, but there's still bad enough players on PokerStars that you can make some money. Here we go. We're going to be looking for him. Here's this guy with his weird raise size, right? It's a super strange raise size. Normally I wouldn't call it with this, but he's giving me excellent odds to call, especially since that other guy called along. So Queen, Jack, blank, 9-8, my kingdom for a 10. We're going to make one call here. And then we'll give up if he continues betting here. Shooby-doo-ba-dee-da-da-dee-dow. Shooby-dooby-doo-dow. He decided to continue betting it up. All right, now this is a hand that I would play from the small blind only if nobody else raises ahead of me. So if this guy makes a raise, we're gonna fold it. And he didn't, so we're going to raise it to our friendo here. All right, so now I am out of position to this guy. This is a pretty dynamic flop. I'm going to check and call because we do have a draw. Queen, Jack, 10, 9. Since he didn't bet, I'm going to do what's called a delayed C-bet, a delayed continuation bet. Yes. Fold that. Hey, I'm on vacation every single day because I love my occupation. Hey, I'm on vacation every single day, every single day. It's a good life. Okay, here we are with something. We're not going to call that earlier position raise, the earliest position we have at this table. It's not really very early though. Hey, queen's in the small blind. That's good enough to raise or re-raise if someone else comes ahead of me, which they don't. Let's go for it. All right, so now we have what's called a monotone flop. We're out of position on this monotone flop. We're gonna say it's some medium value, so we're gonna make a bet. And he continues to go along there. We're going to make a bigger bet here. We do have a heart, so we're not too terrified here. And then we're going to bet small. I mean, it's so scary because we've got 4, 5, 7, 8. I don't know. I think I'm going to have to check. Maybe call. Ra-da-da-da-da-da. Ra-da-da-da-da-da-da. It's very, very straighty here. I don't love my queens anymore. I have to let them go. I have to let them go. Sadness. Hey, here's another fish alert. That person has way less than 100 big blinds. We'll give them a fish tag. It's a fish alert, a fish alert, a fish alert. A terrible death to die, a terrible death to die. A terrible death, a terrible death, a terrible death to die. It's a fish alert, a fish alert, a fish alert. Woo! We've got a king jack in a position that we're going to raise. Remember, we always want to raise to disguise the strength of our hand and push these blind bets that were put in before they saw their cards out of the hand so they can fold, maybe give us their chips. We did get a caller here, and then somebody decided to re-raise us from the button. We're going to get out of here with that offsuit such. Yeah! So this is an 8-9, but it's not suited. There's 3 categories of hands that poker players like to play, right? And suited connectors are one of them. Cards that are next to each other in rank and have the same suit, but they have to be both suited and connected to be valuable, not just one or the other, especially in one of the earlier positions. Do 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 do. So, hey, this person has way over 45 there for his pre-flop raise percentage. Or his VPIP. He's got close to 40 for his pre-flop raise percentage. So that's going to mean that he's kind of a busy fish. Busy fish, pretty aggressive. We're going to say he might even be over here with that. We'll have to watch him a little further, though, and see what he's doing his aggression with. He just checked this one down. They're not really interested in it. Hi! Good to see you, Welch's Fruit Snacks. Sorry, I do have a delay. Sometimes that can make people feel unloved in chat, for those of you out there, but it just couldn't be further from the truth. Welcome. We're looking at our opponents here and trying to guess what kind of playing styles they have. Are they risk takers or are they wusses? It's been a while, yeah. How have I been? It's been a ride, folks. Yeah, I took a big break in the summertime, and overall life is good. Life is good. How are you doing? So here I am in position, and we have a flop that's fairly dynamic. We're going to make a bet against our fishy friend here that's recommended by Coach Brad Wilson, who does coaching for cash games. He has a course called Fish in a Barrel, where he teaches you about what size bets you should do in cash games. So that's what we're working on today. Hooray! Remember, they have to be both suited and connected to be valuable. I am doing beginner focus streams. For anybody who's just joined us, welcome. I'm here to motivate and inspire gamers on Twitch to try poker, the game of math, money, and mindset. And today we're watching our opponents and trying to guess what kind of gamer they are. Are they a risk taker? Do they avoid confrontation? Are they assertive? Or are they really kind of passive? Let's see what they like to do. Are they ADHD and they're playing a lot of hands? Yeah, I can say that because I have ADHD. All right, here we go. We've got 4s again. I'm going to play them this time. We've got some fishes at the table. Let's see if our friend is going to call in the big blind. Yes, he does. And we've got, I mean, it's kind of a silly flop. We're going to go for a small bet. And our friend calls. Now we're going to check. We just have 4s. Doing good. About to get started on school stuff. Thank you for saying hey. I really appreciate it. What are you studying? What are you studying? I want to know. Good luck on your studies. Studying is great. I love studying. School stuff. I appreciate you saying hey. It's nice to have some company. Raising here. This person decides to call this time. And this is one of those paired boards. And we're going to say that we're going to bet it. Whoop! Even though we're out of position, because we were the pre-flop raiser. Yoop! And now we watch our other guys going. These are the stats from the HUD. For those of you who are new to poker, this is a heads-up display. It's like additional software that you can use when you play a lot of poker. I normally don't stream with a HUD, but I am today because we are talking about our opponents and their playing style. And I wanted to talk a little bit about 2 of the numbers, what they mean. So I decreased the amount of numbers that are typically displayed. We're looking for things on those numbers like a VPIP, or the number on the left that's blue, over 40% or even 35, which we're seeing a lot of right here. This guy has it. This guy has it. Yay! We got some folds. We'll fold this one as well, though. We're also looking for a large gap between the 2 numbers. If we see a gigantic gap, that's an indicator that the person is not very strong with their strategy. La da 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 da. All right, we have jacks, which are in the under the gun position. We got raised, though, by middle position. We're going to just flat call here. And it's a lovely flop for us. We're going to check. Then I'm going to raise that because I don't want any straights to get there. We're going to go 12, 13, 14, 15. Let's raise him. Let's go. Let's go, bro. Ooh. And then we're going to be betting big on the turn. Don't have the straight or, a pair of kings. There we go. Nice. Nice, nice. And we're here in the big blind, kind of trash hand. But we're watching our opponents more than our own hand this time for this session. Yeah. We're seeing a raise from the button. This is kind of a bigger raise size. So we're going to tag him because that's bigger than is standard at this table. And we're in the small blind with ace 10 offsuit. Now, if you've been seeing me play spin and goes, you'll know that that's very valuable hand in spin and goes, but it's not valuable enough here to re-raise. So I'm folding. Hey, we love the kings. We love those cowboys. Hey, nice. We got our middle position opening. And we're going to raise him again. We're re-raising. Increasing the price of his raise. Now we see if he's going to re-raise me again, call, or fold. Those are his options. He folds! Hooray! Sounds good to me. Hey. Loving it. I'm loving this Dare to Stream competition. It's really giving me some impetus to do a lot of streaming. I'm enjoying it immensely. Streaming is a fun hobby of mine. Poker is my true love, and streaming is my little hobby that goes up and down. And I'm getting back into it with the Dare to Stream competition. They're judging us based on about 3 criteria. They're judging us based on consistency, creativity, and community. Yes, community engagement. So we're doing it. We're getting there. We're definitely hitting the consistency. It's my goal to stream 10 hours a week until this competition is over on December 17th. And if I stream 10 hours, I get a free ticket to a poker, amazing poker little tournament that goes on Saturdays. Yes. That's kind of weird, but I don't want to call it. So this guy's just calling in the small blind. That's the fishy move, so we're going to give him fish alert color as well. We got some fishes at this table. It's good. Hey, 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 hey. All right. Let's keep watching our fishies. He had threes. He decided to call. A lot of people call in the small blind with pocket pairs, low pocket pairs, and not an awesome strategy. In that case, since he had a button open, he should have been folding his small pocket pairs, but re-raising with big to medium-ish pocket pairs. All right. This guy's getting aggressive with it. He's re-raised the raise, so now everybody gets an option to call, re-raise again, or fold. Those are their options. This guy re-raised again, all in. So his decisions in this hand are done. This guy just has to decide whether to call that all in or make a fold. Those are his two options. He's got to think about it. Is my hand good enough to go all in for 44 big blinds? He's thinking real hard, so I'm thinking it's something like ace jack, and he's just kind of on the fence. About it. Oof. He waited out the clock and then sat out. He was not sure about that one. When you're first playing poker, everything is going to be a gray area. You're going to just not be sure about a lot of stuff. But as you gain more experience and more knowledge and skills, that gray area starts to shrink a little bit. You can feel more certain when you act. There's always going to be a gray area, though. That's what's beautiful about the game. It's like a rabbit hole. It feels like it's so simple at first. And then just more and more stuff you find out about it. You find out that rabbit hole goes down deep. Deep, deep, deep. All right, here we go. Let's see who's confrontational enough to be taking the driver's seat here, grabbing the steering wheel, and choosing the bet sizing. Anyone? He's checking, so that's a pass. This guy's making a tiny bet, but there's a tiny pot, so let's see what's going on. Boom. The nothing. Doodly doo 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 do. Queen 7, not good enough. In this position, we like to have both cards be high cards if possible. At least get some suitedness in there. Hey, we've got Ace King, which is a nice hand for us to raise, even from early position. Because if somebody raises behind us with an ace, we know that it's probably not a good one compared to our amazing one. So we got 3-bet by the cutoff. We're going to be re-raising again. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. 0.5, let's say. Let's go, bro. Are we doing this? If he 5-bets all in, we gotta make a call. All right, so we got an ace on the flop. We're going to bet. Hopefully he doesn't have an ace queen. Now we've got 2 pair, aces and kings. There is a flush complete, though, and a straight complete. So we're going to make a small bet so that hopefully a worse ace is going to call. Yay! They did. Ugh, this is my lame chest, isn't it? It's going to be a sports betting chest. I don't want to bet the sports, but I also don't want that notification to be, like, waiting for me, so I'm going to open it. All right, we're going to call with our ace-9 suited. We're going to call this pretty dry flop. But we're not gonna chase it, I don't think. Yeah, no. Let's not this time. Okay, where did that weird, goofy chest thing go? Here it is. Oh, it's not even gonna load. Fine. Don't load. PokerStars has increased their player rewards and improved them as well. They used to have like aggressively bad player reward system, but now it's fairly good. I can get some cash and stuff. That's nice. Extra cashola. Yeah. And the other benefit of PokerStars is that there's always players on, day or night. You're never going to run out of opponents, which is fantastic. So even though their reward system isn't the best out there, then at least you can play anytime you want. Okay, we got garbage here. We've got an empty seat, so soon we're going to have another opponent that we can observe and see what their player style is. This person they just disappeared. I was pointing out that his VPIP percentage was pretty high. La da 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 da. So we're going to raise. We're increasing the size of the bet to push out the blinds and disguise the strength of our hand. This guy loves calling though. So he checked to us. We're in position compared to him. We have a board that's a little dynamic. We're going to make that bet that we make against fish on that dynamic board. We also have a draw. He makes the fold. We have an okay hand. Oh yay, we just got folds. Got a lot of people sitting out again. Do. No, we're not gonna do that. Here we go. We might play this if nobody else raises ahead of us, which they don't. We're gonna make a raise to these guys. And yay! We bought and paid for those blinds. We stole them. We stole them up. We're gonna raise this one as well. Shoop-a-doop. That works too. Not this one. Although this table is getting pretty foldy, so we can raise more hands if we want. I haven't been raising too many. JBC Master coming in it. He is a new player, so that's why his stats say 0-0. It's because we haven't observed enough hands yet for him to have statistics show up. We will, though, hopefully. Yep. And 10 of 66. So this one is going to show how many hands we've seen. So 66 hands we've seen for this guy. So that's a decent sample size. For this guy, we're going to have there we go. 13 hands. That's not a good sample size. We like to have nice big sample size so we know what people are doing. We're folding that. So like, see this guy, it's like he seems like he's got good stats, but the sample size is going to be tiny. We're only going to raise this if we're the first person in the pot. Nope, we aren't. Let him have it. Let him have it. All right. Here comes a board that has a straight draw, but not a whole lot else going on. If you had a 9, you'd be fairly certain that you have the best hand right now. So he's played 15 hands. Not a good enough sample size. This one's not. Oh, there we go. 5 hands. Not a good enough sample size. This person has 36, and they have not been playing very much, so they are only waiting for the most premium primo handos. So that means we're going to believe them when they do some significant raising. And how many hands have I played thus far? 304 here at this table, looks like. It's not too many. And here we go. We've got a big blind, and we have the cutoff opening us here in the big blind. So that means we're just going to call this pair of fours. Gross flop for us. Let's see what our friendo does. Nothing. Super gross turn, though. We neither of us are happy about this one. We're going to let it go. Both of us were like, get me out of this hand as fast as possible. A nice wee dog. I have a rescue dog that I got to keep an eye on because sometimes he gets all mischievous when I'm streaming. Mischievous. And he goes and he tries to find some boots to eat. Or sandals, flip-flops to consume. We don't want him to do that. I bought him 2 toys that I thought feel kind of like shoes. One of them is like this sort of like canvas toy that has like crinkly stuff inside. And the other one, it looks kind of like a tire, you know? So it's got the rubbery feeling like the bottom of the shoe. Yeah. Hopefully he'll leave my shoes alone and my kids' shoes alone and my sweetheart's shoes alone. We need some no shoe consumption in this house. All right. They've been just checking this one down. Both of them are scared of how straighty and flushy this board is. This guy coming in probably has a heart of some kind. Ra-da-dee-da-da-da-doo-dow. So we're not going to play that from that position. So the poker rooms, one of my local poker rooms is back open post-COVID as of this week. I haven't had a chance to go yet. I probably won't have another chance to go until not this weekend, but the following weekend when my kids are going to be gone. But I'm super looking forward to it. It's going to be great. I'm looking forward to getting some experience in, more experience in live poker because I've only been playing poker for about 4 years, and 2 of those years have been during a global pandemic. So the number of hands I've played of live poker is woefully small, and I need to go in to the casino and get some more experience in that environment because it can be kind of intimidating, you know, especially for a woman who doesn't have like a whole lot of local poker friendos. I do have some. I'm not sure if they're into it, but I'm going to see if I can invite them to come with me. Help me feel better. Yes. All right, that's going to not be a good enough hand to call. Also no good. No good. We're going to fold this one as well. I'm going to sit out the next big blind so I can take a quick washroom break. We've got 8s on the button. Let's see if we're playing them here. Yes, we are. Let's go. So we've raised to disguise the strength of our hand and push out the blinds if we want. We succeeded in pushing out those blinds. Hey, now we got a pair of 5s. 2 pairs in a row. That's nice. Oh, but look at that. We had an under the gun open. So if they have a pair, they have a super better one than me. So I'm not actually playing those 5s. This guy was going to get all excited about it as well. So hi. We'll see how it goes. It's a 5 on this flop. But these guys, let's see what they do. This guy's going to bet out on this flop. And we see a fold. Boop, boop. Folderoonie. And let's watch. Oh, this guy's making a tiny raise size from the button. We're going to keep an eye on this guy because remember, weird bet sizings are one of the things that tells us, hey, somebody might be a fisheroonie. Fisheroonie. He's betting on the flop. Got insta-called. Insta-checked by this guy. Got to be careful about this guy, right? Because look at how few hands he plays. I would believe him that he has the ace here or better. Oh, they had 3 of a kind kings though, so they got him. All right, I'm going to be right back and have a quick washroom break. See you in a minute. Hey, I'm on vacation every single day 'cause I love my occupation. Everybody's sour like a lemon tree. I'm just smiling down upon my enemies. Do the stuff I love and on a daily. You say you hate your job, but you'll never leave. But that ain't gonna be me, that ain't gonna be me. All right, welcome back. We are looking at all the players around the table and trying to decide what kind of gamer are they? Are they a risk taker? Are they avoiding confrontation? Are they assertive? We're going to see all of these characteristics at the table. These are essential human qualities that poker reveals. So let's take a look at what we have on the screen. We've got a cash game on PokerStars. Welcome back. If you have not seen me before, I am here on Twitch to motivate and inspire gamers to try poker, the game of math, money, and mindset. We're finishing out a week of Intro to Poker Crash Course. And so you can check out my VODs if you missed any of that. I also stream every weekday for beginners. So if you're new to poker, you don't know how to play, you've come to the right place. Every day I take a look at some different qualities about poker, some different pieces of the poker game, and I give a little bit of beginner strategy and talk a lot about how the game is played. So right now we're playing what's called a cash game. That means that's the kind of thing you often see at a casino when you walk in. It means you bring some chips to the table, plop them down, and then when the time is up, you've spent what you want to spend, then you scoop them up and leave. We're looking for fish. That means players without a strong strategy. We can tell this person's a fish already because they have less than 100 big blinds. This is the big blind. It was a bet that somebody paid before they even saw their hands. This is what we call a paired dynamic board. We're going to bet it big because we believe our opponent may be a fish as well. We'll see if he calls. He can call or match this bet. He can raise me or increase the size of the bet, or he can fold and give up his interest in the chips. He decided to call, so now I got to be careful. It's suggesting that he has like either a 6, a 9, or he's drawing to a flush, like that heart flush. Let's see if he bets here. If he bets here, it's a potential that he has that heart flush, so we're going to fold it out. We gave up our interest in that hand. You got to give up a lot in poker, but you also have to be brave. Ooh, this person just limped. That means he just called the big blind instead of increasing the price of the big blind. That's a fishy move. So we tagged this person the right color. So we're checking. That's a pass. We're not putting any more chips in the pot right now. We have Queen Jack, but we don't have a straight draw. I know beginners could sometimes see like the 7 and the 9 and the Queen and the Jack and be like, oh, that's like almost a straight. But we'd have to have Queen Jack 10, 9, 8, 7. That's called a backdoor straight draw, and it's not as valuable. It's very unlikely that you're going to make it. So it's good to fold those, especially as a beginner. This person making the teeny tiny baby bets. They're indicating they have a spade in their hand, but they don't feel real strongly about it maybe. They don't even have a spade. This person is absolutely terrible, which is lovely to see. We're going to give him another label saying terrible player. We love that. We love to see a terrible player. Okay. Boop-a-doop-a-doop, ba-ba-ba-doop. They're doing the little tiny minimum bets. Baby bets aren't very good because there's 2 reasons why we bet in poker. Not a third one saying you're bored or you haven't bet in a while. There's only 2. One is for value. That means you have a good hand. And the other is as a bluff. And a tiny baby bet is not going to build a pot for value. Remember, big hand, big pot, big hand, big pot. And a tiny bet is not going to scare anybody off as a bluff. You got to get really buck wild with it to scare people off and make a nice raise size or bet size that is huge. Giganto. I have a new plant that I picked up. Somebody gave it to me because it's infested with spider mites. I'm not scared of spiders, so I have it like right next to me here. And I've been watching to see how it does. I tried kind of like bathing it in like dish soap water because that's supposed to help. And I'm also gonna like wipe the underside of the leaves with rubbing alcohol because that's supposed to help. I don't know. I'm not a plant person. I try to be, but I murder them, which is why I'm adopting these free plants, because if they die, at least they were free. All right, let's keep watching our opponents and seeing how they do. The other things we're looking at, you'll notice these weird numbers underneath. I don't normally stream with a heads-up display that has these numbers, but since we're talking about player types, I decided to stream with it today so that we could talk about some of the things that show that somebody is a fishy player. One is if their VPIP, their voluntarily put in pot money, is over 60%. It's even if it's over 35, that could be pretty fishy. So this guy is way over it. This guy is getting there, but it might also be our sample size, which trying to find out. Yeah, we've only seen 9 hands, so that's not a big enough sample size. Anybody who's done some science research knows you want to have a much bigger sample size. Ideally, like hundreds of hands with that player. Oh, the person had 8s. They made some moolah. Nice. They're still limping, so this is a really bad strategic play. That's why their pre-flop raise size, their percentage is 0 right now. This person did a good thing by re-raising and pushing me out of the pot with a random hand I have in the big blind. Otherwise, I could have gotten to see a flop for free. That's no good. You don't want to make your opponent's decisions easy. You want to make them hard. You want them to suffer to learn. All right, so now we have a button raise. Now we're going to increase the price of the bet because we like our hand. We're also out of position, meaning we'd have to act first for the rest of the hand. So we don't mind seeing folds like we just saw. We don't mind it. All right, this person decided to raise this time. Oh, no, wait, they called this raise. Never mind. They weren't good. I didn't see the bet. Okay, now we are sitting here, and this person who's in an extremely early position, they have a lot of people left to act behind them. They decided to raise. We're going to re-raise them. But if they re-raise us again, we're going to fold because there's a lot of good hands they could have there. All right, my king plus the 1 on the board makes a pair of kings. We're going to follow up with a bet. They call, they just match the bet in order to proceed in the hand. We're going to bet a little bigger here. And we'll see if they call. They can call, raise, or fold. They call, kind of indicating that they may have a king. I'm going to check it down with the top pair. And they had a king 10. It's quite possible that they were slow playing an ace king or something. It might have been good enough for me to bet like another bet, a good bet on the river there to get him to call. I think I lost some value there. I could have gotten more. I should have gotten more greedy. Sometimes I'm not greedy enough. Sometimes I'm too greedy. Those are my characteristics as a gamer. Very competitive, very greedy, and a little bit of mistake tilt, meaning I beat myself up when I make mistakes. So this is what we call a monotone flop, meaning there's all three the same color, which means that if somebody had 2 hearts in their hand, they would already have a flush, which is 5 cards, all of the same suit. This person making the call. And the turn card is probably not really exciting for anyone. We call that a brick. Bricked out. The turn is a brick. Nobody's real excited about that turn. This person's continuing to bet. And they got, the other opponent gave up on the hand. This person made a tiny raise size. And they got re-raised, so I'm getting out of here. Somebody really wants to play with the super bad player. Super fishy player, and that's okay. It's nice to have a super fish. Yay, I've streamed over 10 hours this week. That means I'm gonna get a free $55 ticket from PokerStars. Woo woo! We love the Dare to Stream competition. It's been really awesome. Oop, we're getting out of here. These people are too excited about their hands. Ew, even this guy's calling along. Good luck. Good luck, my little friend. Whenever we see a big gap between these numbers, that's an indicator that they are very fishy. Fishy, fishy, fishy. Hey, yo. Everybody just checking. This person should at least try to bluff this guy, huh? Let's see if he's gonna call the bluff or not. Makes a fold. All right. That player might think a little bit sometimes. That's good. They're just new. Everybody has to start somewhere. It's okay. And we're gonna play this hand because nobody else raised ahead of us. Somebody calling from the small blind. And then making a teeny tiny baby bet here. I'm going to call it because it is so small. It gives me excellent odds. I'm going to fold if they just keep on keeping on though. I believe them with this bet. I believe them. I have the belief in them. Because they're not doing a whole lot of bluffing. Oh no. Except for playing way too many hands. 410, that's garbage. Let's keep watching our opponents. We still need to tag these two guys with some colors. Gotta watch and see how they play. See if we can get any more fish alerts in here. Gotta get this guy a color as well. So they have over 100 big blinds behind them. So already we know we can't tag them a fish for having a short stack like our friend Casper here from Denmark. I have a friend who moved away to Denmark recently. Moved away, the whole family to Denmark, and then is going through a divorce. And so she's going to move to the United States, and her young teenage son and ex-husband are going to stay in Denmark. That sounds pretty tough. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard for her, but I guess the divorce must be worth it to her. I don't know. Divorces, 0 out of 10, do not recommend. Don't do it. Be careful about who you marry. Be careful, folks. Make sure that they have the same values about marriage as you do. Person limping again. I might get to see a flop for free if nobody else raises them. This guy likes to do so, though. Yep, they're going to say, let me go at it with this guy. And then they're making a big bet on the flop. Ooh, got called, though. You're going to want to believe this fish, I think. Oh, 3 8s on the board. They made it. They checked down a full house because they believed the fish so bad. Oh, darn. I was hoping I would get to play blind versus blind with the fish. I would have potentially even gone all in there. Because they have such a short stack. Yes, they do. Not going to play this one, though. So they're just completing in the small blind versus this guy. Yes, Tanya knows. 0 out of 10. Do not recommend divorces. Divorces are nightmarish. They really are. My Meetup app is like dinging at me. Why? Do I have a message from a person who wants to like do the meetups? Yes, they do. All right, I'll answer them later. So we're going to raise this ace and jack offsuit. They're 2 high cards, which is the kind of hands that poker players like to play. We get called by the fishiest of fish at our table. And we'll see what happens. And we've got 2 callers. My jack plus the 1 on the board makes a pair of jacks. I'm betting a little bigger here in order to spoil their odds for things. We love the fishy, so we're going to keep betting. Do. Oh, we got them to fold even. My goodness. Yes, don't divorce. You know, I saw somebody on Reddit who was like talking about how crazy their wife was and like she's so wild and crazy, and they had a kid together, and he was just like, I love her, but she's just so wild and crazy, she's hard to deal with. I was like, man, if you think she's wild and crazy to deal with now while you're married, just wait. If you divorce, she's going to be even wilder and even crazier, and you're still going to have to raise a kid with this person, you know? So work it out, man. If you love her, work it out, you know? It's just wild. I know you can't always work it out. I know, because I wanted to work it out and my ex-husband didn't. You need 2 to tango, so it didn't work out. So I know that it's not always possible to work it out, but when it is, it's definitely worth it, especially if you have a kid, especially if you still love the person. Yeah. Otherwise, you're plunged into divorced existence, which is kind of like its own little box, its own little cage. Oh, our fishiest of fish left. Boo. Now we gotta watch these opponents and see how they play. The HUD stats aren't telling us a whole big story, although this person who's sitting out is starting to get a gap between those 2 numbers, and they just disappeared though. Wah. Just when we were about to give them a label. Now we're on the button with these 2s. Waiting for additional players here. All right, so we have this king high flop. It's pretty dynamic. We are in position. We're gonna treat him like a fish, and well, no, I've actually got a little bit of value, so we don't want to turn this. We don't want to turn these 2s into a bluff at this stage. Not at this juncture. Wouldn't be prudent. See if we can check down the 2s. We do's, and he had a pretty good hand that he chose not to bet. Nice. Sure, we're going to call with the king 10 here. And there's a paired board. This one's really good for my opponent to bet on, because I'm going to have to fold a lot of holdings unless I have a jack or a 7 or a pair in my hand or a straight draw. I'm going to have to fold. Excellent continuation bet spot for that player. Boop. Sometimes if they continuation bet too much in that spot, you can raise them just to troll them and get them to fold as well. Ooh, they ran away too. Why is everybody running away from our table? Come back, friendos. Come back, friendos. All right. Here goes. We have a bet from X Step Ahead X. Yay, we've got a pair of 5s. Let's do it. We are raising in order to disguise the strength of our hand and push out the blinds, potentially. La da 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 da. We're waiting for the biggity blind. So the big blind decided to 3-bet us or raise us. We're going to call this one. Whew. We don't quite have a straight draw, so don't be fooled, new poker players. When you've got 3 to a straight draw, it's not as valuable as 4 to a straight draw. So we're going to have to fold his continuation bet here. Probably. Well, it is second pair. I'm going to make the call. Oh, yep, the flush completed, so we're going to be giving up against his bets here, definitely. We're definitely going to give up here. It's fine, 'tis but a scratch. 'Tis but a scratch, my friends. And we'll give this guy his label for doing that re-raise there. We'll see what kind of hands he's doing that stuff with. Aren't we gonna see it? Yes, we are. Let's keep an eye out for his play. So we all have people at the table who are keeping 100 big blind stack. That's a good sign for their play. Bad sign for us, but good sign for their play. We like to keep topping up our stack to 100 big blinds, even if we lose some. And the reason is because strategy changes when you get your big blinds lower. Also, you want to be able to cover your opponents with your amount of chips if they're worse than you. Because, you know, they might go all in with something crazy. You got aces. You want to be able to make the most of that opportunity. Make the most of it. Yeah, I think I should arrange like a casino field trip with some friends of mine. Wouldn't that be fun? Let's do it. I love that idea. All right, we are raising from the small blind just against the big blind. They made a call. So here we are. This is, we're going to call this kind of a semi-dry board. We have a pair of 7s, which is kind of weak value. So we're just going to check and then call if he makes a bet. He didn't choose to make a bet, so now we're going to lead out on the turn. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Shabba-dabba-doo-wah. And this is called a delayed C bet. Now we're going to check and see if we can just check down the river here. Now we've kind of got third pair. It's not as valuable anymore. We're going to give it up. Give it up, give it up, give it up. Wabba-dabba-doo-dee-dee-ba-da-dow. And we have a raise here. We're not going to play this hand anyway. Let's see if the big blind's going to call along. So far, this guy has just joined our table, so that's why his numbers look kind of funky. Don't have a good sample size yet. Let's see if we can see. So this guy, he only has 7-hand sample size. This guy has, come on, a 6-hand sample size. This guy has a 5-hand sample size. This guy, though, 122 hands. We can feel fairly confident about his numbers. And notice how his numbers are farther apart than mine are. That's a sign of fishiness, definitely. Okay, this guy calling along. We'll see if this guy continues betting. He does. Our friend folds. Okay. Yes! Friendo casino trip. I'm looking forward to the next time you visit Canada. It would be nice. It'd be nice to see you. It's just a pain in the butt right now because you have to get like a negative COVID test before you come up. And that's kind of like obnoxious. Especially because it has to be a PCR test, which is the kind that takes more than a day to get the results back. So that sucks because I can't do like a day trip down to the States, right? Because I'd have to get my COVID test and then wait for the results. It's a pain in the butt. Super pain. Oh wait, they probably won't let you in anyway because I think they're only allowing vaccinated travelers across. And I believe you still haven't had your vaccines yet. How'd you go with your job there with that, huh? There we go. We're raising this one. It's a nice hand to raise. And we got re-raised by a friend here. We're going to re-raise him again to about 20 big blinds. Boop. If he 5-bets though, we're going to not. Now we have a paired board, so that's great for us to continuation bet. Now that he's called though, we got to be careful. He's behaving like he's got maybe a high pocket pair. We're trying to check it down with ace high here. Check it down with ace high. Da 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 do. Oof. No. Also at the casinos here. Oh, I got a goofy chest. Hooray. Monthly poker challenge unlocked. Okay. It was like a weird little unlocky noise they made. Challenges. We've got an exclusive deposit offer. We've got whatever this is. Play poker. Let me see. Sure, we like cash rewards. Definitely. Let's opt into that. And what else? Throwables, I'm not interested in. Sporty stuff, I'm not interested in sports betting. No, 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 no. No sports betting. And now we're going to open a goofy chest and see what they gave me. Goofy chest opening time. Goofy chest opening time. No, it's not going to load. Always annoying. I have like 2 chests that I have to open, but they're not loading right now. Let's try one more time. See if I can open the chest. They're always fun. Oh, this is probably the sports bet. Yeah. I don't want to bet $1 on a sports ball thing. No thanks. Nope. Next chest, please. Let's open this one. This one's I'm interested in. Oops. Let's see what it was. They just gave us more of these, which is good. Now I can get like some dollars. Some dollars. Waiting for the company policy coming out. Casino here doesn't have any shot requirement yet. Oh, the casinos here definitely do. You have to be vaccinated to get in. Which I like because I'm clinically extremely vulnerable. So I don't want to be sitting around a poker table with like a bunch of unvaccinated people who are, you know. Yeah, no. No, thank you. I am too vulnerable. And so is my mother. She's had a kidney transplant, so meh, super vulnerable. She's got to take these medicines that basically destroy her immune system. Because, you know, otherwise, if her immune system worked, her kidneys would be, you know, her kidney, her new one, would be rejected. Rejected is bad. All right, well, good luck with your company policy. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's nice to see me win. Thanks. Appreciate it. Yay. Oh, it would be nice. Someday when this whole COVID craziness is further behind us, you'll get to come to a casino with me and it'd be fun. Normally we would play those 7s, but with the under the gun raising here, we are thinking if he has a pair, he's definitely got a better one than us. We're going to let it go. One interesting thing about poker is when you have a pair, it is slightly more likely that other people have pairs because you've taken up some of the numbers that could otherwise be unpaired, right? So it's like, it's slight. But it's a thing. Yes, you can watch me here. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Someday the world will be less crazy, right? Right? Right. I think so. We're letting go of the 4s here. We're letting go of the 4s. No 4s for me. Ba 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 ba. So I gotta get new winter tires on today. I'll probably like treat myself to some junk food while I'm out of the house. One of those secret mom junk food trips. It'll be good. It's been pouring rain though, so I'm going to be walking around with my dog in the pouring rain for like an hour or so when they're putting on my new tires. Oh, look, this person limped. Yay! Fish alert, a fish alert, a fish alert. A terrible death to die. A terrible death to die. A terrible death, a terrible death, a terrible death to die. Yeah! Aww. Best friendos forever. Friends forever. We're gonna have to do like a gross bluff here. Gross bluff time. Gross bluff worked. Sometimes the bluffs are gross, but they still work. Fish song! We gotta have the fish song. We gotta get those fishies. Yes, maybe I'll make a clip of that fish song so that I can demonstrate my creativity or whatever to the people on the PokerStars Dared stream. Gotta submit some clippies to try and win some more tickets. More tickets. More. I usually don't play multi-table tournaments. Those are for if you're new to poker. That's where if there's like so many registrants that there's like 100 people, they're all playing at different tables, and as they lose, they're all consolidated down to one final table and then eventually a winner. I don't normally play those, but when I get free tickets for them, I definitely do. We've got kings. We love those cowboys. Let's go. Let's see if anybody's going to come in before us. Get my raising hand ready. We're raising. See if we get to play against this guy. He's going to re-raise me from the big blind. So we're going to re-raise again to about 20. Boop. And we see what he does here. If he goes all in, we're going to call. He just decided to call. Ugh, we hate the ace on this flop. We really do. I'm not going to waste any more money on this one because it's very likely he's got a lot of aces in his range there. Shoo-ba-doo-doo-doo-doo. And I was the last pre-flop aggressor, so he was just showing aggression out of turn. He's also super fishy. Let's see how he goes. La da 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 da. So I'm winning a lot of PokerStars chests. Let's see what my next one is. I'm on level 3. It says 0 out of 7 chests to upgrade. So we're leveling up. We're leveling up. Win 7 chests in a rolling 28-day period to upgrade to bigger chests. Okay. We can do it. This one expires December 3. We're going to do it for sure. All right, let's watch our opponents and see if we can characterize them a little further. La da 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 dee da. This guy definitely has too high of a, although it's only 13 hands. That might be just sample size error. He's down for it. Let's go. All right. Let's see what we have. We have our opponent here is raising from early position. What does that mean? It means that he feels strongly about his hand because he knows it's got to beat all the people behind him. So a lot of people believed him there for sure. Because his pre-flop raise percentage is not astronomical. So, you know, he might not be kidding. He might not be kidding around. All right, everybody folded and gave it to the big blind. Can we do that again for me, please? Because this hand is awful, and it would be nice to get just free. Oh, no free blinds. Fair enough, fair enough. Another fishy move for him to just call this raise from under the gun. He's got to have something good enough to either re-raise or fold from that position. This guy was showing a lot of strength. He's going to check here, though. And the guy bets. Is he going to get a fold? Shoo-ba-doo-doo-ba-doo-doo-doo. No, sir. He's going to call. Representing that he's got something, like a pair or maybe a flush draw, potentially a straight draw, although it's an unlikely straight draw from the betting and raising that went. Well, no, maybe a straight draw from this guy. Our friend making a bet here, giving this guy the willies. He's got the willies. He's got the willy squeegees right now. He's going, uh-oh. And he makes the crying call. This guy is probably going to follow up with another bet on the river. He likes to bet. He does. Let's see if our friend is going to call if he believes him here. He does. Oh, man. Had this straight. My goodness. So we're going to give this guy a pink label because he was just doing a lot of calling there. An awful lot of calling. So we might be able to get some value out of him at some point. Yes. Shoo-ba-doo-doo-ba-doo. Dabba-dabba-doo-ba-doo-doo-doo. So he's got a big gap in between those two numbers so far, but of course still we're waiting to see more hands from him. It's almost 11 a.m. everybody. Morning, good morning. 11 a.m. from here in beautiful Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. And a king for, what's a king for? It's for folding. And we'll see if this guy's going to come into it. He's thinking about it. Maybe he's stepped away from his computer or disconnected. He was sitting out for a second there. This one's usually not going to happen. I might have played a ace-8 offsuit from that position, but not the ace-7. No, sir. It's a Jack 8-8. This is one of those paired boards. Wonderful for people to continuation bet on, but nobody did. This guy makes a baby bet into the baby pot. We have a nice hand here. Let's see what happens. So we are in middle position. We had the person under the gun raise. We're going to re-raise him, increasing the size of the bet for two purposes. It's a valuable hand, and also we might see some folds. Let's see if he's going to call along with the two of us. He does. And we see a flop that's pretty nice. It's one of those paired flops, and we have a flush draw. Not only a flush draw, but a draw to the nut flush. So we're definitely going to call his raise there. Queen, Jack, blank, 9 is not a straight draw, so that's not what's happening. Now we can do some math if he makes a bet. Oh, he's ruined our odds here. He definitely has. Because he's screwed up our odds for us to go into this, because we only have about an 18% chance of making our flush by the river. And he has made a bet that's approximately 25-ish% pot odds. Ruining it for us. We're going to not. He might be a little bit of a gambler, though. Bit of a gambler. He's doing a bit of a limp, so this guy's taking advantage by raising the limp significantly. He wants to take advantage. We're hoping we catch a hand against this guy because he loves doing the bets. He might just bet himself out of chips. We call that walking the dog in poker. Because then they can just kind of hang themselves by their own leash, you know? Here we go. And we have a big blind. Oh, maybe we'll get to see it for free. Nope, this guy's going to make the raise for our limper player here. Limper player, limper player, limper, limper, limp. Ba-doobity, doobity, 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 doop-a-doop. Very fish alert. And then he checks, as well he should, to the pre-flop aggressor. The pre-flop aggressor keeps waving around that aggression stick, continuing to tell him that he has made a good hand. And it works. Even against our friend there who likes to play a lot of hands. This one's not good enough to raise, so it's not good enough to play. Not this time. No, 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 not this time. Oh, no. All right. Here goes. He's making a nice big bet there. And it's do or die time. There's a number of flush draws that didn't quite make it. This guy with the 10s, second pair taking it down. Awesome sauce. Shoo-ba-dee-doo-ba-doo-ba-dee-doo, dow-dow, shoo-doo-ba-dee-doo-ba-doo-wop, ba-ba-bow, shoo-doo-ba-dee-doo-ba-doo-wop. I'm going to try and cut up some videos and make some content today before I got to go get my tires changed. So I'll be winding up the stream fairly soon. I'm going to find somebody that you can watch who's either doing the Dare to Stream competition or who has 0 to 1 viewers, so they will be super amazed by a raid with some viewers. That person has a ton of viewers. We're not going to do them. Let's see who else we have. Somebody's playing Fortnite with no viewers, basically. And it's their birthday. Why don't we raid them? It's their birthday. Let's sit out next big blind and we'll get ready to raid our friends. Yes. Let's raid somebody's birthday. We've got Para FNR is their name. It is their birthday. We're going to get ready to raid them. I will see you again. I'll be streaming on Monday, so make sure to touch the little heart, touch the little star below my stream so that you can catch me next time. Here is the raid call. Please tell him happy birthday. It's his birthday stream, okay? All right, tell him happy birthday from me and have an awesome time. Take it easy, my lemon squeezies. Yeet!